in case you can't guess, we've changed offices. We're now the entire Standing Stone Games is now working from my living room. It's kind of a strange decision, but I was just like, I don't want to get up unless I've got coffee. Coffee's in the kitchen, and they were just like, well, fine then. We're all going to move to your house. So, nope, I am stuck in my house. I'm working on getting the driveway cleared out from the blizzard. But it's a lot of work. Hey, it looks like we are good. Let me just quick pop on over to Twitch, make sure the video is working. If that is indeed the truth. What am I doing? Channel. There we go. Alright, I see myself on Twitch. Yep, I have power, I've got heat, everything's fine. The main thing is I have a fairly long driveway. It's maybe, it's not super long, but it's like 500 feet or so. And I live along a busy highway. And normally that's not bad, because that means it gets plowed out pretty early. But that also means these massive state snowplows come by and shove this massive wall of snow at the end of my driveway. And all I have is a shovel. So it's going to literally take me hours more of digging to get out of my driveway today. So I couldn't get it out in time for noon. So there we go. Oh, okay, maybe I just need to turn it in then. That could well be. We're on Caneth here. We're going to continue doing our stuff for Ravenloft. Yeah, it looks like I just need to get to Blue Water, see whatever we're up to there. So anyway, hi Yamaniras, Fly Flung Flu, Cleavebeard, Atasui, Bortek, Cornicia, Red Piety, Master Robert, Druid's Fire, Bruno, Ray, Christopher, and Michelle over on Facebook. Thank you everyone for joining me. Welcome to Friday afternoon on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Yep, I've got enough bandwidth, it looks like, to be able to pull this off from home, so that's good. Alright, yep, looks like we are up to Raven at the Door. It's kind of interesting. I'm actually, the flagging on this live stream is mirroring the flagging I'm doing on my Epic character on the Lannis. I just ran Raven at the Door last night. I do. So, I don't know, like, I'm from Minnesota, and in Minnesota, it's sort of seen as a little wimpy to use a snowblower. Real men use shovels, But man, I kind of wish I had a snowblower right now. Not because of most of the driveway, but just because of that end of the driveway. I mean, literally the snow pile is like this thick, kind of hard snowplow snow, and it's up above the level of my mailbox. So that's going to take a while to dig out. Alright, well there's just two of us, so why don't we go in on hard?
You have returned to Castle Ravenloft, this time uninvited. As promised, the servant's door was not sealed. A sign that
Alright, let me go AFK real quick. I'm gonna get some coffee here. It'll be just a second. Yes, this is our casual stream. How's it going? When will the patch be coming out? It looks like we're looking at Tuesday, as of a chain of emails from this morning. It looks like we're looking at Tuesday for a small patch. That'll fix, I think, a few things in uh, the Babala Saga raid. We found a few more so-called stacking effects that we're going to be trying to work out. This isn't going to solve the hitching, but it ain't going to hurt either. We are working on the hitching thing, but at least as of this morning, I'm not aware that we have a fix in for that yet. I know that we're trying though. We're actively working to identify that and get it resolved. So, yeah. Sorry about that. That's a big bummer. What else is in the patch? I can't actually access our Jet page or like our kind of internal wiki page to check it all out, but it's just really a handful of kind of fixes, predominantly for the Babala Saga raid, and hopefully to get lines of supply reopened as well. And we're currently targeting Tuesday. Of course, again, about half the office was able to make it into the office, and the rest of the half is just like in my position where it's like a big nope. Can't get out of our driveway. So it's a little bit weird trying to get everything scheduled. I think we're all going to really know the status of things come Monday, when everyone works this weekend and gets into the office and things like that on Monday if they aren't working this weekend. So, but probably Tuesday. Like I say, not a big patch. The other thing we are working on then is our producer's letter. We want to get a producer's letter out within the next couple of weeks if we can. So I'll be working with Rob to draft it up and make sure that it's all put together and submitted through our licensors and all that sort of thing. Really, the big thing is we have pretty much know what we're going to do for 2018. But these first couple of weeks are, I can't remember what the official title is, but it's basically, hey devs, work on your pet projects. We wanted to carve out a little bit of time. This helps for morale. It lets the devs kind of finally get to the things that they've long been wanting to do, and gives us a chance to just kind of take a breath and catch up on some kind of much needed backlog of work. So that's really what we're doing these next couple of weeks, and then we're full speed ahead on update 38 development. We right now are going back and forth as to one of two things that we're going to do. That's literally going to be decided any day now. Maybe it was decided on Thursday or Friday. But the thing that we don't do for 38, we're going to do for probably 40. So it's kind of which one do we want to do first? Yeah, we did just have the team work themselves very hard to get Ravenloft done, and so we don't want to burn them out. But at the same time, we got plans. Big plans with big names of cool things that I can't say until the producer's letter. Yeah, so that's pretty much the status of things right now. It is pretty hot, though. Regardless of what we end up doing next, it's going to be big.
Jesper's last report says he went off to steal a potion from a coven of witches, whose lair is at the top of the South Tower.
So when can we expect the producer's letter? It's a little early to really commit to a time frame on that at this point. If everything goes according to plan and we don't get busy doing other things, hopefully the first draft will be written and circulated by the end of next week. And then it'll kind of go for whatever formal approvals and such it needs from various people, legal and what have you. We're going to the top of the South Tower, so we can, if I recall correctly, just basically drop to the bottom here, is that right? And then you go on over to the South Tower? Or is it over by the third floor? I can't remember which way to go now. I think you could drop down and do it. Okay, start on the third floor, that works. That's fine. Sorry. Unless there's a collectible here. Hey, Ephasus, nice to see you. Yeah, working from home today. Basically working to shovel out my driveway. And then I'm going to be doing kind of social media scheduling through the weekend and live streaming. Answering emails. I'm going to help get, it looks like Steel Star is going to be debuting the third Artificer tree, yup, to the Players Council. Boo. Sorry for you guys. But that means you'll be seeing it soon enough. But it's going to be making its debut to the Players Council, I believe, later today. So I'll be working a little bit on that. Yeah, pet project time. I mean, it's we call it pet project. There's actually, I can't remember what they call it now. Free lab or something like that. It's basically, yo, just work on whatever it is you need to work on. Figure out what you've long been wanting to do. This backlog is stuff that we really need to get done, and then get it done. And if you don't have anything on your backlog, which, trust me, that isn't actually the case, because everyone's got a million things they'd love to do if given a couple of weeks to do it. Work on bugs. So. Because apparently, we have a couple of bugs. It'll take a couple hours to fix. Sort of a never-ending thing. It's too early to talk about the Artificer tree. I'm sorry, it's just too early. We can't, I don't even want to give the name of it because it could change. You know, at this point it's really just, yo, what do you want to work on? Oh, yeah, good point. Sorry, Ankle Biter, let's take care of that. Yeah, so I mean, I do get hitching. We all do. That's part of the reason we're easily able to repro it. The problem is identifying what's actually causing it has been ridiculously challenging. Well, like I said, I've said this, I guess, on other live streams, but we have, I don't right now because it does cause a little bit of a performance hit, and I'm live streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. But our engineer put together really kind of a diagnostic tool to run in the background while we're playing, either at work or at home. And it's collecting data that hopefully will help us identify what the heck is causing this stupid hitching thing. It's weird. It's weird. All the obvious culprits have been investigated, and so far no smoking gun has been found. So who the heck knows, you know? And I ran this on Legendary Elite last night. And Strahd's hate was CR 63, I think it was. And holy moly, did it take forever to beat him down. Didn't help that no one else had light resist. But no, I haven't actually seen the tree either, myself. So I have no idea what, that was Legendary Elite. Actually, a lot of the things were CR63 I noticed on Legendary Elite. I don't know what exactly that means, but, maybe there's some formula involved, but that's what they end up being. Yep, like right here, there's a hitch. It definitely seems to be related to either effects or audio related to effects or some kind of what's called an assert behind the scenes. And we haven't really been able to, like I said, if we had the smoking gun, we'd have solved it by now. So, who the golly gosh knows. But man, is it annoying. Hopefully we'll get that solved soon. Can we talk about Paladins? Sure. What do you want to talk about? I like Paladins. Paladin's doing pretty good. When is the anniversary party going to start? Probably around the anniversary. I think the work to get the prep work on the anniversary, you know, the behind-the-scenes code work to activate it will probably be in a patch for it'll be update 38 or a patch to update 38. Hard to say which. I went up the stairs. Should we be going down? I'm pretty sure it's up though, isn't it? My paladin's actually doing... I think paladins are actually in a fairly decent place. Yes, no weekend bonus beyond festival, and I apologize. We actually were going to have one, but then the snowstorm hit, and we haven't been able to get to the office to do it. So I think and one of the person who does the scheduling for it has been sick all week, the flu. So we haven't been able to schedule it. So yes, just Festival this week. This is the final weekend of Festival, by the way. The coins will stop dropping after we turn it off first thing when we get into the office Monday morning. So let's say noon. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it'll be shut off Monday morning. And then the Jester will stick around for another week, because we want to give people a weekend to do what they need to do. Turn in those last coins they get. I have to admit, I have had... zero coins, because it's been all Ravenloft. Unfortunately. Yeah, I know what you mean. So it was kind of a weak festival this year because of everyone was over in Ravenloft doing Ravenlofty things. It'd be nice if we had the ability to bring that to Ravenloft, but we do not. We are prohibited. It's Eberron only. That's a lot. Yeah, it looks like it basically didn't get brought down for heroic. Yep, Lesser Slayer count boost is the free coupon, so hey, if you're going to Barovia, you might as well.
You recall the password from Jesper's journal. You whisper, and the wards on the door fade.
Aileen wants to know if any of her anniversary party suggestions are going to make it in. Remind me what those suggestions are. Is there a forum thread? I'm sorry, I probably have seen it and it's just skipped my mind, but I think it's going to be fairly light on the anniversary event this year, just because, you know, busy doing other things. But we are going to be, I believe, trying to add something in terms of the reward list, and also a few tweaks to the encounter area. You know, kind of update it a little bit. But I don't think it's going to be a particularly huge update this time around. I was checking the text here.
The withered
Snowblower
bones
any
of
day?
gods
Yeah,
glare
yeah.
at you from across their cauldron.
Real men have heart attacks shoveling the snow. I'm not worried about heart attacks. I know people like to make fun of my weight and stuff, but I'm fine in regard to shoveling it out physically. It just is a pain in the butt. Melee tanks, fighter paladins seem way behind in tanking as compared to warlock tanks. I mean, I'll grant you that warlock tanks are really strong, but paladin tanks are still plenty viable. Just look at like Lessa's tank and things like that. One thing, two-weapon fighting used to give melee power as a feat, but devs took the melee power off. Now with Reaper mode, I think the increase in melee would be a good choice. Can it come back? I can't remember why we got rid of the melee power for it.
I think we need more meat for our pot, don't you? The cauldron's fiery heat abates. These vile crones have uttered their last curses. It is time to search their lair. You find a set of vials, which must be the potions of gas.
I guess I'm not sure that a little bit of melee power is going to make much of a difference, but I can appreciate the suggestion. Any chance Ravenloft quests will drop tokens of the 12? No. Again, tokens of the 12 are Eberron specific. Are you guys going down to the dungeons, or are we going to level 3? Level 2? Okay. I was just thinking we could go straight to the tower if we want to. Any possibility of patron favor boosts? Not boosts, but one of the pet projects I have heard we might well be working on here in the coming weeks is updating our missing, quote, missing favor rewards. So that'd be nice. Yeah, I know, right? Found out last night 333 PRR in the Abbey quest does not save you from flaming skulls. You die quick. Yeah, those flaming skulls, man. They will take you out. For sure. Alright, wait a second. I actually don't know where we're going. Usually at this point I just go up to the level 3, go into the study, go through the secret door, and get to the tower. Well, that's fine. We can take care of the hags. Wisdom to damage does indeed rock. Yes, my my favorite soul is loving it.
guttural chanting echoes down this hallway from the west.
Stuff like Linabelle being in the party, exploding pork barrels on the reward, cake genie by the cake, the party cookies fitting in the store-bought cookie jar. I think, as a matter of fact, all of those might well happen. I have been also pushing for the pork barrels to make a comeback somehow, just because they're fun, and that seems like a great place for it. Having Linabelle in the event, yes, I'm pretty positive that's going to happen. I don't know about the cake genie by the cake, but that makes sense. And the party cookies fitting in the jar, I know, is also a task that we want to get done too. Although there's some concern that people tend to be like, oh my god, my stuff is gone. So it'll cause us as many headaches as solve, but we'll still probably do it. Oh, the Gem of the Timid is so funny. Thanks for doing it. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun writing that up. I got the chance, because it was originally meant as a sort of a scratch track, as it were, to just sort of go nuts with it without a lot of oversight. So I got a chance to just kind of do whatever I wanted to. And I think it turned out pretty good. So, does that mean that DDO points for 5,000 favor might start being sent out properly? I don't know about that one, but I think what we're going to maybe see is, say, like, finally get those missing tier favor rewards in, like, Forgotten Realms and what have you. So. I agree. Pork barrels, they're too cool to just be relegated to an old event years ago. Hey, Grimoire, nice to see you here. I assume things are not quite snowed out in the UK right now. Brits would be proud of me. I had tea and crumpets for breakfast this week. Oh, man. So anyway, tokens of the 12 are related to the 12. And the 12 is absolutely 100% Eberron only. So there is no way we can have tokens of the 12 be outside of the Forgotten Realm, or outside of Eberron. There's no way our licensor would allow it.
Swirling forms of ghostly light drift through this dungeon.
But then honestly, I mean, I appreciate people are like, I want to get tokens for other things, but man, it is so easy to get tokens in this game. I appreciate that it kind of sucks that you don't get tokens from, like, say, running this stuff and Forgotten Realms stuff and what have you. But man, if you want to get 20 tokens, you can get it done in a couple hours. Pretty easy. Melee tanks cannot compare to Warlock tanks for DPS or self-healing. Yeah, I mean, I do think in general, we've had this discussion on the live stream before, but yeah, I mean, Warlocks are clearly super powerful right now. Might be we need to nerf them again, but I don't know. Yes, so Bruno... Oh, I've got the key. I sicked Linabelle on that because Mythery Inferno from the Damsel of the DDO, that is one of her, like, absolute pet projects.
The old hag turns with a crooked slip of the captive cause. It's a trap! And you hear the heavy clank of iron doors.
And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be difficult to do. Not that we couldn't do it, but the reason it was removed I have been told,
Make me a
I
vessel
disagree,
of
but I have been told
vanquish the hands.
that it's a performance thing. Oh, the God darn it! What is killing me? Horrid wilting. Okay, that'll do it.
Your request is granted, my son. Now let us
I've been told that it would be too much of a performance to bring back the ice shatter effect in all weapons. I think we should do it anyway. I disagree. But, nonetheless, sigh, I think that's we can't do it. Why were there not named helmets and hats in Ravenloft? Jeez, that's a good one. I have no idea why we didn't have helmets and hats. I'm surprised we don't have any. Oh man, by the way, speaking of getting things from Ravenloft, I got the, oh shoot, name is skipping my brain right now. Why did I start talking? The legendary bracers from this quest, where you get the plus 19 strength and plus 9 side effect, whatever that's called, con and everything. And I even got it with a mythic bonus. Freaking rules.
Then takes flight to find the nearest window.
Stop nerfing warlocks, bring paladins up to warlocks. So, I mean, I appreciate what you're saying, but honestly, I feel like if we brought all the classes up to the current power level of warlocks, it would be a big mistake. I just think it would. Warlocks are still, I mean, yes, we've nerfed them, and they're not always all that great nowadays, and we've made a lot of progress, and maybe they don't need to be nerfed more. But man, are they still really powerful. And I think that if we brought all the classes up to the level of warlocks in the same way we sort of brought all the classes up to the level of the swashbuckler after we did that, frankly, I think it would be a big mistake. I think the game would be super too easy. Oh, darn it. Why can't we just up the mobs? Well, theoretically we could. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. But do you want to sit there beating on mobs more? And then that also causes a split between the haves and the have-nots even more than we already have. I don't know. Yeah, up to third, right. Yeah, there are certainly situations where warlocks are not the be-all end-all anymore. I think we have done a fairly good job of bringing them, making them still really powerful, but having other things, you know, potentially be okay as well. But I just think overall, if we brought all the classes up to that level, it would be a big mistake. Where am I going? Yeah, here's where I'm going. Someone in chat saying my Cleric Bard Swashbuckler is doing more damage at level 14 than all the Warlocks he's grouped with, so Warlocks get too much hype. And that could be. Could be. They're certainly still the considered to be sort of the top power thing right now. Yeah, I know, Bruno. So that I had raised that argument too. I was like, well, we already have it where it works sometimes. But the thing is, it only works sometimes. So there's a difference between having it occasionally happen in the game and just sort of bringing it back full tilt for everything, I've been told. Use arrow keys, not the mouse. Yeah, that's a good call. I probably should do that. I need to shrine quick. I need to get my lay on hands back. Alright, quick over to Facebook. Points are easy when you have more than one character. That's true. You could definitely... Also, if you are really grinding for points, make sure you do that on every server. Just roll up a character on every server, get to 100. Adventure packs, only the older packs are on sale. I believe that is true. I can't remember. Well, I suppose I could just look it up. Oh no, I can't look it up because I'm VIP. I can't remember if the Mines of Tethiamar is included in our Select Adventure Pack sale this week or not. Populous, I guess, 2.3 million hit
The tower
points.
seems to be
That's a
hidden
couple
on
of
the
hit points.
inside somehow. And as promised, it
Yeah.
is filled with treasure. The thud of heavy
That
footsteps
is a raid.
serves as a warning that it does not lack the guards.
Stop vomiting on me, you castle sentinel, you. Boop. I agree. So we have actually over time we have considered, well, what can we do to help on helpless? What can we do to help melee out, so to speak? Do I have any? Nice. Uh-huh. Nicely done, Cherry.
This book's pages are brittle with age, and much of it is illegible. But what you can make out suggests the author is none other than Strahd himself.
Yeah, I'm a paladin
Perhaps your
with
allies
no
back
way
in
to
town
restore
can make
myself.
sense of it.
If anyone's got anything. Oh, there we go. Cool. Scald Ring. I don't have a Necro on Kenneth. If anyone wants that Scald Ring, let me know. Cool, you can have it. Apparently I need to get an ingredients bag. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Gust of Wind is really good. Frankly, you can also kind of range them from down the stairs a little bit too, to just kind of go back and forth to deal with the acid cloud. So kind of. I don't know, Technical 13, whether we're really going to go through every quest, every piece of loot that doesn't accept sentience and make it accept sentience. It may well be that some loot is just not going to have sentient, or not be able to be used. I do think we're going to work on some of that stuff, though. Some of it is would be a big engineering change, which is why, although someone told me on the forums I'm wrong about this, but I was told that loot which scales up normal hard elite based on the level of the quest does not get crunched by your sentient jewel. But then someone told me I'm wrong there, so I haven't actually tried it yet. I agree, though. We have looked over the years, and I'm sure we'll continue to look at what can we do to help melee a little bit in terms of tanking, particularly when it comes to Reaper. We haven't made any changes there, but I would not be surprised to see us do that at some point. I don't know if it's just a matter of some kind of like scaling DR or massive PRR boost, perhaps. I'm not really sure what the right answer is, but thankfully I don't have to worry about it. Someone else can make that decision. Alright, we should have time to be able to cruise through Mad Tea Party, I think. You can't heal yourself in Reaper impossible. Not impossible, but yeah. I mean, clearly that's not really intended. A few of the rune arms can't be crunched. Yeah, I'm aware of that. We need augment destroyers similar to the filigree destroyer. Yeah, probably.
Lady Vokter and Baron Valakovich are plotting each other's demise. Can you afford to side with the lesser evil? And if so, can you tell which one that is?
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps some kind of healing amplification for tank builds might be a way to do it. Although I still tend to think the main issue with tank, you know, like sitting there and taking damage in Reaper, is you just really aren't in a position to absorb damage in Reaper. You're always going to, it seems like, under the current way that the game runs, you're really always better off kiting in range right now in Reaper. I think it would be a huge... I don't think it would be easy to figure out a way to make sitting there and absorbing damage more competitive than not getting hit. You know what I mean? But perhaps
to Lady Fiona Vokter, this secret passage leads
people
straight
more
to the
intelligent
Baron's
than
manor
I
across the way.
can solve this problem. What? Okay. Negative level me, will ya? Am I the only one who ever reads that as death salad? I think not. It's a death salad. Yeah, and that's true. And to some extent, you know, Reaper is not meant to be for everybody. It's not meant to be the default way to play the game. And frankly, not everyone's running it, despite what you might read on the forums. But I can definitely understand the frustration of melee characters in Reaper who just sort of feel like they just aren't able to compete in a way that they would like to. So maybe there is something we can do there. Where'd you go? I agree. We should probably have an augment destroyer that is a plat sink. Yep, no problem. We're on our way. How did you die? Oh, this guy. Okay. Ah! Yay! Any epic destinies quests in Ravenloft? I don't understand what you mean by there. By that. The issue is people want to be able to remove the augment so they can crunch the resulting item for sentient XP. So we would need some kind of augment destroyer so that we could do that. Because otherwise, yeah, you can just overwrite one augment with another, but that still doesn't let you do it. And the reason we don't allow people to do augments, we just do the pay-to-win way. Good enough. The reason we don't let you do that is because there are too many ways to exploit. If you could use augments that were because you could take a heroic item, you could put a level 28 augment in it, and then you would have a minimum level 28 item for the purposes of crunching it in sentient weapons. So people would be farming low level, like level 3 quests, dropping in their duped level 28 augments, and then everything would suck. So that's why we don't allow it. I thought the shrine was in that one. Am I wrong? I guess. Okay, I will go back the long way here, because I don't want to fight that champion by my lonesome. Alright, so that means we're going all the way back this way, all the way through the tunnel again. Is that right? we get through the tunnel? How do I do that? Where am I? Alright, through the tunnel. Yeah, welcome. Up the stairs. All right. Do the quests in Ravenloft have epic levels? No, they're legendary, which is kind of like epic, but legendary. Jerry, do you think the pet items from Ravenloft are too high in level to benefit most characters with pets? I assume you're talking about the sentient filigree, is that the one? To have it for near pure or almost exclusively pure builds really hinders a lot of builds from allowing their pets to use them. I think we're thinking long term here on this one. Yeah, it may not be currently useful to a lot of people, but if we make pet stuff more viable, eventually we're going to hit a point where people actually want that sort of thing, and then we'll have it there for them. But I see what you're saying. You're right, Technical 13, they do not change the base level of the item, but that is not how the sentient weapon system works. So that's why we had to do that. If you consume a lost soul and you have a hire that has a blue bar, have that same amount that you took and give the same amount to that hire. 100 spell points lost soul, you and your hire get that much. Also about what making Reaper hires. No. Absolutely not on Reaper hires. No way. No. There's no way we could make hirelings valuable in Reaper, even if we wanted to. And we don't want to. Reaper is not meant to be something you do with hirelings.
This gentleman is resting, impeccably dressed with
absolutely not.
Upon his eyelids. While he hasn't drawn a breath in years, a spell prevents
but as far as sort of letting those things affect hirelings, that's not a terrible idea. It would make some sense. For those of you who actually hated yourself and wanted to bring hirelings into Reaper mode.
Alchemical paraphernalia on these shelves hammer your senses with a bouquet of pungent. The evidence is plain as day. And so very damning that even the town of Olaki would shun her, were it known. A young woman's voice pleads from behind the door. The young woman hisses as she jumps onto her bed.
I don't think we have any intention of making hirelings competitive in Reaper difficulty. I don't know. I've never used. Frankly, I would never use a hireling in Reaper difficulty. I've never tried to see what happens if you target a Reaper difficulty and then, or lost soul and have your hireling use it. Does that work? I don't actually know. No customer services in this week, Darrell. They're busy. They're getting caught up on a lot of stuff from over the holidays. You know, all of our Christmas sales and things tend to put a burden on them. Any plans for new classes with pets? No. I think the intention would be to make existing classes work better with pets first. And I do think 2018 will be most likely the year we finally get to Druid. I mean, hirelings are... We hear enough criticism about hirelings just in regular heroic quests and stuff. There's no way we're going to make them competitive in Reaper. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so we got that, we got that. Don't need to go down. So keys in case we need them. Excuse me. We took care of these folks. I will get to the other questions here in just a second. Let me not get lost where I am here. Any idea on what specific classes we plan to work on this year? I think we're going to see Artificer and Druid. I think we're going to see a little bit of Favored Soul and Cleric Enhancement Trees. And then next on the list will most likely be Sorcerer and Wizard. Whether or not we get to that this year, I probably will, but I wouldn't totally want to commit to that yet. In another 5 years expansion, or will it take less time to push things out? I don't think it'll be 5 years. We are not doing an expansion in 2018. Mostly just because we kind of feel like, you know, they are fairly costly, both for us and for the community. And we want, I think, asking people to pay for an expansion 2 years in a row is a little more than we want to do. So it won't be 2018, but does that mean 2019? Could be. Let's see. I use your level 30 Scarecrow all the time in Reaper mode. Love it for blocking the doors in those quests. Yeah, I had my level 30
This chest is filled with dolls.
Scarecrow out in that legendary elite run yesterday. And it worked out pretty good, actually.
Defiantly reads, "All is not well." As you read it, you hear an odd noise behind this door. The hum and crackle of lightning, then a stifled gasp.
The filigree set for Deadly Rain is supposed to give a boost to range power when you use an action boost, but it is not working on Endless Fusillade. Is that an action boost? That would be a question for Steel Star. I don't know the answer to that. I'm tempted to say it is... Well, I mean, it is, right? But I think it's kind of a special snowflake.
No, of course it didn't.
Alright. Looks like people are shrining up. It says it is in the description. Okay. Yeah, my guess is Endless Fusillade just due to the way it's coded, and that is just not tied correctly to the rest of the action boost system, so it's probably just not working, and it should. Especially with ranged power. Being a boost to range power, that would make a lot of sense.
Suddenly, a woman screams, and then the scream is cut short.
Okay. Can clerics control rather than turn undead in the game? There is a control undead, yeah, it's a spell. Not through the turn undead system, however. Still snowing in upstate New York? That sucks. It is not still snowing for me. The snow tapered off overnight, and we just have a huge amount of snow on the ground. I probably got something like 12, 14 inches of snow in my house. It's at least a foot or more. We just need to go see Lady Wachter.
Lady Fiona Wachter cannot contain her smile. What splendid
Uh-oh. I'm gonna die. Alright, chance to look at that. How about streamlining hires a little bit? Make it hires that level up with you and can select multiple classes at the beginning of dungeon, fighter, healer, caster, and so on. That would be a lot of work. It would probably be easier to just... I think it's kind of cool, but there had been a time where we had thought about scaling hirelings, but what you're essentially doing is making a new hireling for every level. So you'd be not making one hireling, you'd be making 30 hirelings. And it's just time prohibitive. That's why there's a lot of hirelings out there. The flooding in Boston looks crazy bad. I have not actually seen that. What is the next name of expansion? Anything new for quests? Any older quests getting reworked? We have not yet announced any of our future plans, but hopefully we'll be doing that soon. Within the next couple of weeks in a new producer's letter. And that'll talk a little bit about our plans for 2018. It's not an expansion, however. We are not doing an expansion in 2018. Any older quests getting reworked? No, not to any significant level. There's been some discussion about finally adding a few kind of teleport NPCs to some of the older wilderness areas. So that you could say, if you've been there once, you could just quick do Chains of Flame and talk to a person and get there. Yeah, hallelujah, right? So that might happen. There has also been some thought about adding that to a few other areas too. But we'll see. But in terms of bringing back a classic pack, no. I don't think that's going to happen in 2018 here. We just have too many new things we want to work on. And so we've kind of opted to focus on that instead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah, get away from me. Careful.
The books on the shelves here have a range of grim and horrifying titles. The perfect collection for someone who consorts with literal devils. Titan, every time you ask for a Sonic Green Arm, we push it off by another year. No, I have heard of no plans to make a Sonic Green Arm. Sorry. Hang on, let's wait for the group here, Ankle Biter. I noticed the Underdark expansion that led me to the Forgotten Realms without having VIP. Are there other quests like that? No, that was a specific decision, kind of a promotional decision back in the day, to get everyone to check out the Forgotten Realms. We haven't really done that. We haven't needed to do that in our other expansions, really. But no, we haven't done that. Any plans to introduce more content in the level 20 to 30 range? It feels less diverse than 1 to 20 as of now. Probably not. I mean, I would never say never on that, but with the ability of anyone over level 20 able to group together without an XP penalty, and the need to have a lot more kind of so-called endgame content, it is more likely we're just going to make legendary stuff and have those level 20 people continue, which is what they're doing now, to group with their high-level brethren. A little more bang for the buck. But potentially we could. I'm sure we're not completely done. Man, these Abishai just take you out. Why no helms in Ravenloft? I don't know. That's actually news to me. I'm surprised we don't have helmets in Ravenloft. I guess I hadn't even thought about it, but that's strange. Yeah, Bruce, I've been featuring some of your videos in the Chronicle. I noticed that you've been upping your DDO content on your YouTube channel, so that's real cool. The game really needs level 10 to 15 quests. That is why we have Ravenloft.
That was in part why we chose that level there, because we have exactly what you're looking for in Ravenloft. A whole bunch of them. Something like 12 new level 10 to 15 quests. Might as well clear out this corner. Get the little secret passage thing there. Man, I need death block is what I need. This will get us our jeweled key, which we'll be using later. Okay, okay. Oh God. Will characters ever go past level 30? I don't know. We definitely don't have any short-term plans to do it. But never? Man, it could really use that thing from Necro, one of those Necro necklaces. All the time it took to get my level 28 completed Thunderforged bow, it does not work on legendary quests. And now, you're not making epic quests anymore? Yes, we're making epic quests. It just has to compete with everything else we're doing. Also, your Thunderforge does work. Just not the Mortal Fear aspect. Has there been any discussion on Reaper changes, possibly how XP penalties work when grouping in Reaper 20+? No, we haven't really thought about doing any significant changes to Reaper. We're pretty happy with the current state of it. I think, like I said, as we discussed earlier on in the show, I think one of the things we're looking at is perhaps a new Reaper that would challenge kiters, and perhaps find a way to make make melee a little more competitive. We could. It's possible we'll see additional Reaper enhancements in the future. I haven't heard of any plans to do that in 2018, though. Doesn't mean it won't happen. Any new classes on the horizon? I don't think new classes are in the works for 2018, but I do think perhaps a new race. We'll see. The answer from DDO is F you, mortal fear. We changed our minds after you spent a year working your arse off. No, that's not it at all. We probably should not have introduced mortal fear, though. It's true that a thing that drops your hit points by something's hit points by that dramatically, that consistently, is a terrible idea. And yet we did it anyway. And then in the future, there would be no reason to ever use any other weapon ever in any content ever for the rest of the history of the game if we did not do something about mortal fear. Because no weapon's going to compete with something that takes away half your hit points, half of its hit points in one shot. In, I don't know, CR, say 63 character, or mob or something like that. This isn't going to happen. But it is still very effective in content it's designed for. So, you know. It came out with a certain level of content in mind, and that content is still extremely effective in it, so. You may choose to disagree. What about the tiefling race? What about the tiefling race? Will there be more dungeons like Devil's Assault? So you say don't fight the Baron, is that right? Oh, okay. Didn't someone say in Twitch chat that if you don't fight the Baron, you get an extra chest? That doesn't seem right to me, but what do I know?
Monster or lunatic will come forth to rule Balaki now.
Ooh, Blight Inferno. Nice. Congrats on the rune arm there. Any forums or sites that have something with fanbase? Yes, check out DDO Players News and DDO Cast. Check out the Damsels of DDO, and check out the DDO Chronicle on DDO.com. That'll link you to a whole ton of content from the DDO community that'll be worth checking out. Alright, we are going to call it then, call a stream here. I have to get back to shoveling snow. Up next will be Sealed in Amber, the next Wednesday. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Michael Weger. Basically, Devil's Assault has a uniquely split level range so that people can play it all over. That was actually designed back in the day for an event. There's a long history, I guess it's not worth going into now, but that's why it's a unique snowflake, is that it was set at different levels in a much earlier version of the game. It was never actually intended to be a permanent quest when it was being designed, but it was popular enough and it made sense after the fact. I was like, well, wait a second, why don't we do that? So it was brought into the game permanently. But that's why it has that level range that it does, is it was part of the old Marketplace tent event. that happened where we exploded what used to be kind of the main hub of NPCs in the marketplace, which dates back to the game's early days. And at that time, the level cap was 20. Is that even right? Is level cap 20? Was it 18? I can't remember now. But anyway, that's why it's the 61218 that it is. Alright. Have fun, everyone. Thank you very much for watching Friday afternoon. I'll be back on Wednesday. I need to check the schedule. I think I'm back on Caneth for another week, but I might be heading to Galanda. I'll double check that and find out what it is. Hope you have a great DDO weekend. We do have our final weekend of festival. We have also extended the 50% off character inventory sale due to kind of a snafu over the holiday break. That's extended through the 11th, so take advantage of that if you're interested. And we do have the new sales and Chronicle info up as well. Have fun, everyone. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't know if I'm on Caneth this next Wednesday, and I'll need to double check.